Welcome to the Round 6 Team Sheets video and final trades. It's George from Fantasy Take TV. So my trades have changed because of the team sheets. A certain rookie has not been named, so maybe got bailed out on that one, but we'll touch on that soon. And yeah, we'll go through all 9 games, and there's a few interesting ones on the extended bench, like a Chincotta, which we'll go over. But also, we'll get this one out of the way. We'll go to my final trades for the week. So slightly have changed. So in the video I did, I had Zach Merritt in. Didn't get off, unfortunately. Should have hired JD as their lawyer, and also had Dylan Williams in, who's not been named, for Port. So I've gone for Matthew Johnson instead. I liked Johnson better, but I wasn't too sure. Like, going forward, is he going to be sub? He's certainly a superior talent to Williams by far, and also like Brody in the team pushed Johnson out of the midfield, so maybe gets a little bit of mid time. I think they should give him a little bit of mid-time because he looked really good in there, like 6 touches pretty early in the first quarter. So yeah, looked good. And I think what I really liked was his last effort to help them win the game at the end. I think he won the ball in the middle, ran forward, took a mark inside the forward 50, kicked the goal. Obviously that helped his points a lot with the 67. But I just like the look of him. I like the talent, and it sounds like O'Driscoll's not best 22, so maybe he's keeping him out of the 22. I'm not sure. So I like him as a talent a lot, but hopefully he goes well. I guess you just take what you get at this point. So that's a bit on Johnson. Going Matty Roberts as well. It's hard to pass a 90 in the third game in his system. First 2 games will drop off pretty quick where he's sub, so I expect him, as long as he plays, played, I think, outside, but pushing into stoppage, which is good, especially for a rookie. So, and yeah, he's a natural ball winner. Both of them are, better accumulators than a Dill Williams, who hasn't really shown much accumulation, apart from 20 touches in his first SNFL game. So I'll be going with those 2, and then the Jack Sinclair. The time on ground was low on the weekend, 78. He's usually an 83-84% guy. This year and last year, and yeah, it doesn't seems to score better off halfback, and with Steele back in the team somehow with his injury, that I assume means more back for Sinclair, hopefully. So we'll bring him in. I think he can go close to top 6, and we know he's got a great ceiling, obviously capped by Messiah taking a few kick-ins off him, but so yeah, I'm bringing in those 3, and then Ginbey, McKenzie, Baker out. Ginbey can probably score well. I do worry with the break, even though I want to maximize cash, and he's one where there's a lot of others I want to hold on to. So who am I actually getting rid of here? I don't really have anyone else to get rid of. Like, you got Wilmot. Wilmot's break even's too low. You got Ashcroft. We can milk more out of him. McKenna, same, milk more out of him. Fergus Green, though, break even. So, and like Cowan as well, is just not enough money on his head. So circumstances is Ginbey, Cam McKenzie. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's going to be sub. I don't know if they'll sub him off. I don't know if they're going to play him mid. I don't know if they're going to play him forward. Just get me out, unfortunately. But really like him as a prospect. Be annoying if he went well, but is what it is. And then Baker. I'd like to hold Baker because he's shown a ceiling in his practice game, and a few weeks ago we scored the 90. So he just has to keep scoring 40s or 50s to hold price, and then have one spike game and he can get to 300. But again, he's the sacrificial lamb to ensure I get the premium on the field. And Baker was never supposed to be on my field. I think he was last week because of, I can't remember why. We had an out somewhere. I can't remember. Anyway. So that's my trades. So we'll get into so that's how the team looks. Every time I open this, I have to look at 23 trades and Chassa. So that is annoying. But it is what it is. So we'll loop Johnson. If Johnson fails, I'll throw Roberts in the midfield and field Ferg. And yeah, Ben Brown out. Oh, we'll get to that anyway with team sheets. So we'll get through these. Try not to spend too long on them. So Fremantle versus the Dogs. So outs, Keith straight swap for Bruce. And then Hannon, maybe that means McLean on. I can't remember if he was sub or not. So we look here, Brody is in, so that probably hurts the mid-time of Matthew Johnson, or MJ. We'll end up calling him Michael Jordan, hopefully, if he plays well. Jago Mira in the forward line, I hope so, but it's just team sheets, so obviously Sarong's probably their best mid listed on the bench. I don't know who Joshua Draper is. Corbett's a key position. He was a forward at Gold Coast, but I think he can play either end. Erasmus can't break the 22, and Nod seems like a pretty good sub candidate. He can like come in, have a bit of an impact, knows how to kick a goal, so I think he'll be the sub. So who gets subbed off? Honestly, I don't know. Not even gonna think about it. Could be injuries and whatnot. And you look at the Dogs. So Johannesson is named down back. So basically Crozier had this spot, and now Johannesson has it, and he's been playing well. And I think he holds, and I'm going to bring him in for fantasy, very cheap in that format. For Supercoach, I just can't stuff around. I need to focus on getting in players I think will be season keepers, and Johannesson is not one of them with Dale and Richards back there. So regardless, I think he'd be like a decent pickup for cash grab, but it's just hard to make it work in this format. McRae on the wings, like whatever. Can't really comment too much on team sheets, especially with Bevo. I probably won't captain English just because Sean Darcy's in some great form. It looks like Constable is not emergency, so he's our loop and he plays late. So I will probably go Laird. What have I got here? I've got Laird into Oliver. Maybe they put attention to Dawson. I don't know. I don't think Finn Mag plays, but yeah, we'll get to that. Anyway, Baker will keep playing, which is good. So I'd like to hold him, but I just can't. So is what it is. Port versus the Eagles. Okay, Teakle is a 190k ruck, out for Lysette. So I think we kind of feared this in the preseason. We know that Kenny is not afraid to play around with the ruck magnets. So see how he goes. He's playing BJ Williams, the almighty one, who Sean Darcy had nearly 60 hitouts on. Or what do you have, 52 or 58, something like that. Lord is a tall forward as far as I know. I haven't really looked into it, and I'm not even going to bother until he plays his third game, but I think he's only in for Charlie Dixon. Dill Williams played back. I was reading comments on Big Footy, and they seem to think that he'd stay in the team, but apparently not. Mead omitted, as we said, and then, yeah, nothing really here. I guess Noah Long has been a nice rookie. Sounds like it's a minor hamstring, so you could get rid of him, but I think he'll come back and make a bit more money because he's clearly best 22, I think, so they don't have much else. So he's one where you can hold, or if you need someone to get rid of, he can go, so that's all good. Look at Port's 22. Rosie, Butters on ball probably sticks out here. Looks like the CBAs will be up. I think he's a great target. For me, with low trades, I'm quite scared of the durability, so regardless, I think he can do 105, even 110. With these CBAs, we've kind of seen it before, so I think he's a great pickup. If I had lots of trades, if I was sitting on 28 instead of my boy 23, I would go for Butters for sure. And you can like buy flip one of him or Cogs or something. Just see if he gets DPP, and but it's probably going to be. I think if the CBAs hold, I definitely think he'll be top 6 though. So he's a good option, but yeah, again, durability risk scares me off a bit. And then West Coast, no real relevance here. Although just looking at this, Teakle and Finlayson. So see what the ruck split is. No reason to go Teakle at this point. Just see how that plays out. Oscar Allen's also slid under the radar. He's been a very good one. All right, moving on to get through this quicker. Giants versus Brisbane. Perryman is back, but looks like Rouston held. Yep, so that's good if you have Rouston. Tom Green suspended, so that's annoying. I wouldn't entertain trading a 1 week injury. I mean, 1 week suspension. He'll be back, and he'll be around the mark for like top 7 to 15 mids, I think. And honestly, I'm actually like not upset about him getting a week off, because in the back of my mind is the way he's finished the past 2 seasons. Hopefully he's fitter this time around. Certainly looks like it. But he has tailed off, so maybe this will help him freshen up a little bit and lessen the chance of him tailing off. Fingers crossed. And Fortin Lyons out for Gunston. Buckley's been really good. This one just came from nowhere. I didn't even know who he was before this year. I just saw him score well and watched him at Norwood, and yeah, he's a good player. He can intercept, gets to the right spots, has an impact. Kelly is fine. Probably we'll play on ball for sure. Should be more points for Jelly and Cogs this week, although Brisbane is a tough matchup. Perryman actually in as well, which is nice. Cadman played okay, kicked an early goal. I don't even know what he scored. I don't think it would have been much, but he's had some big games, but I don't think you can justify 200k for a rookie key forward. Brisbane, looks like Wilmot and McKenna. Where's Rich? Interchange. So Wilmot has been playing more wing, but he needs to play halfback to score, I think. It's quite difficult to score as a wingman, but I do like him. He pushes up into stoppage a bit. Seems to not really fall his way, so I feel like he can still be a consistent on-field option for us. Probably your worst off-field option that you want off ASAP, but I think it's better than a Cowan, for example. So I'll continue to field him for probably 2 more weeks. He's got a bit more money to make, but he's been good for us. So you can't ask for much more from him. Ashcroft, I'd be holding, and Neil Dunkley, and very much whatever here. Moving on to Geelong versus the Swans. Just seen young Warner is out. So Rowan and Segler in, Stanley injured, Puffit out, and Stengel's done a arm or wrist, something like that, out for 4 to 6. Radigalia was really good, had 14 touches in the first quarter and 0 in the last half, but can still get those spoils. Or we should probably go over this. So yeah, Warner out, Amadi out, as in the younger one, I believe. Gould out, probably was always going to happen. Oh, Aaron Francis. Okay, that just slid by me. Yeah. So they planned for Francis. So he was injured last week, so he probably would have played in the preseason. They said he's key position depth for forward or back. They don't need him forward. They got McDonald. Is Buddy injured? I can't remember. They got McLean. I feel like they're missing a toll. I've dropped a Marty. Okay. Oh, maybe he's a forward here. I honestly don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Just see how Francis goes, because he is a capable interceptor. See how he goes where he plays. Yeah, we'll let that one figure itself out. Mills probably not an option this year. Just missed a fix it. A bit of a shame. And I've liked Lloyd's game this year, but I think you probably take the players that have been better last year, like a Sinclair. But I actually quite like Lloyd, but I'm just not game enough to go that route. But I do like him. Not much else to discuss here. Poor old Tanner Braun as emergency. What a disaster pick that was. And yeah, Matty Roberts on the interchange. So I don't know who has to come in, but we'll see. Also, yeah, Ryan Clark, please go to Tom Stewart. I would love nothing more than a Tom Stewart stinker, but that is me. Sunday. It's already Sunday. Oh, okay. There's no. They haven't named the Anzac Day squads yet, or the Is there 1 or 2 on Anzac Day? There's Anzac Eve and Anzac Day. That's right. I think. Yeah. Okay, all good. Hang on a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 8. Yeah, all good. All good. So yeah, there's only 1 Anzac Day game. I've lost where I'm up to. Let's refocus. So Hawthorn versus the mighty, all-conquering. We're calling him the Showtime Crom now, just because they're so good to watch. Well, for now anyway. But yeah, love watching the Crows. Looks like Denver, Granger, Barras. So these are extended benches. So I don't think any of these guys are playing, except for maybe Scrimshaw. So I can't see Finn McGuinness playing. And looking down back, so if you're a Sicily owner, I think he'll bounce back this week. They're playing the DGB and Sam Frost key defenders, so that should free Sicily up. Tasmania, perfect, easy, big ground, open, more space for cheap marks, which is what Sicily was doing in the first 3 weeks. He had a massive DT average. I think he was like one of the top scorers in the whole game in the first 3 games. So I think he'll bounce back. Crows like to move it quickly as well, so Probably prefer slower if you're interceptor, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how he goes, but Sicily is one I'm targeting soon. Not much else on this. So looking at the extended bench here, so Ned Long holds his spot, but Will Day, I think, is a chance to take it. So Ned Long played a bit of midfield, a little bit of tall forward, played okay. I'm not sure he's a future piece for them, but we'll see. Looking at this bench, so I don't know if they play Meek or not. Cam McKenzie, I don't know if he plays. I think Brockman should play. I don't think Finn Meg or Lynch play. You think Ward, so Ward, Brockman, that's 2. And then 2 from these 4. Seamus Mitchell is not guaranteed much here, so I don't think you can go early on Mitchell. I'm not sure if he's even named, but I'll be going your Johnson and your Roberts this week, so a little bit more confidence in him. I just want to see it again. You don't want a dead rookie. Like, even if they get dropped third game, at least they'll make maybe 50, 60k or whatever, so it's not the end of the world. Still terrible, but at least you get something for it. Whereas if you get a dead rook, that's pretty painful. So I think he's sub risk as well. So they've got a lot of defenders already, and they've brought in Scrimshaw, assuming he's best 22. My knowledge on him is not great, so I think you wait on Seamus Mitchell, but he did look good. And looking at the Crows, I think Mitchell will play though, but we'll see. Not much to discuss here. Dawson, does he get a bit of attention from you? Connor Nash, maybe. So I think my VC will be Laird here. Chase Jones, named at half forward. I don't think he'll play half forward. His wing floats back a little bit, gets it off the back of stoppages a bit. Sort of like your sweeperish role. So yeah, I'm going him in fantasy, but I'm not super confident. But he's looked like a new player this year, so I will back him in there. But in Supercoach, it's hard to justify a wing role. Just too much needs to go right. And then the Crows fixture, I think after this isn't too crash hot. I think I've got Collingwood next week, I want to say. Can't remember. Carlton versus the Saints. Extended benches here, so maybe we get Chincotta, maybe not. He's extended, and then looks like Steelers back. Campbell's always on the extended bench, but yeah, he's just kind of there in case something happens to Rowan. Looking at always stress over Rowan and English, because I feel like they late out candidates at times. Just they have a slightly sketchy durability, so a little bit unease with that. But yeah, looking at Carlton. Cowan on field, so we like that. So I think you can keep holding him or just boot him next week. 20 break even, so he should make another, 10, 15k. And then it'll dry up pretty soon. Probably cap out at 240, maybe 250 with a 60 score, but it doesn't really look like it. But he's got it in him because he did it in juniors, but I think he's just more your lockdown. Hollands, I think, is fine to get rid of this week, but definitely fine to hold as well. So who plays here? So I think Kennedy plays. I think Fisher plays. De Koning plays. And then I honestly don't know. I would have thought Chincotta comes in, given his VFL form, but I don't know. I just look at the numbers, and he's putting up some nice numbers there, but I don't know what he actually looks like in the VFL. So let's just cross that bridge. Would I go early on him if it gets you a better premium? No, because every chance that what's his name, Sard comes in. Doherty's probably 4 weeks off, but then you only get maybe 2 price rises out of Chincotta before Doherty comes back. And with Sard coming back, no guarantee. So I would hold off on Chincotta for sure. Just not sure what he looks like at AFL level just yet. Just I want to let it go. Just MJ and Roberts for me this week. And yeah, Sinclair down back, which is great. Camera suspension, bit stiff. Got hit first, but I guess that's what happens. Murphy did lower his head quite a bit. Who plays here? Probably Hunter, Clark, Stocker, Butler, and Quarty maybe. You would think so with Camera out, so something like that. Maybe Winhager sub. Gold Coast versus North. Could be juice final game if you lose to North at home. That'll be interesting. So Witts has been named, but be careful. I think he could be a late out for Moyle. So yeah, I don't think you can go Moyle because it's it sounds like Wits is like a week-to-week thing, so he could be back this week, could be back next, like who knows. Not much relevance on Gold Coast side. Constable's not here, so you can safely loop him. North Melbourne in Aaron Hall. We don't like that at all. First on the extended bench, if that means anything. So who plays here? So I think Will Phillips definitely does. I think Bergman does, who was out with sickness, I think. Paul Curtis didn't play last week. I think he's good enough. I think they played Howe. Lazaro probably no. Shields, can't remember if he played or not. So I would have thought Curtis comes in for Simpkins because they're both kind of versatile. Obviously Simpkins more midfield, but Curtis can roll through there. Maybe they give more time to Powell or something like that, or Cunnington. So even Cheezel can roll through there. So Aaron Hall in is not great for us because it probably affects Zeeble, but I don't think it changes much. If you're gonna grab Zeeble and Hall's named, then I wouldn't do that. I'd probably let Zeeble go now if you don't have him. So let's see how that goes. Melbourne versus Richmond. Extended bench here. So the only one I think that will play here is probably Max Gawn. Definitely Max Gawn. I think it sounds like he's passed, or maybe he has to pass a fitness test tomorrow or something. So what do you do if you have Grundy? I think you can hold for a week if you've got other stuff going on, but I think his break-even's low, and he's playing Miller and Samson Ryan, so not exactly, especially Miller, who's much shorter. So if Grundy gets a bit more ruck time this game, maybe they manage Gawn a bit. Maybe Grundy makes it a little bit more. You probably need to get to English, or you like hold for 2 weeks, wait for Gawn to drop, and you like bank 50k or something going from Grundy to Gawn or something. You can bet against English. That's something you could consider, and do upgrades elsewhere, because Grundy to English is an upgrade, but so is a rookie to a premium off the field in a different position. So up to you what you want to do there. So no Ben Brown, which is interesting. So great for Van Rooyen, who I think's looked better than Tom McDonald in my opinion. I think he does more, and Tom McDonald only really had his good game against I think it was West Coast. He kicked like a bag, but everything else he's done nothing. Chandler halfback. I think they've named that before, and that's nothing. I think Grundy should play. I think Bowie, Jordan Sparrow, something like that. And Ross, Bauer, and Jaden Short. So Tyler Young holds. So fingers crossed if you have Tyler Young that he holds when Broad comes back. Bacon and Rioli, I think they're permanent fixtures down back. They've both gone past Short down back. Short can float back, which is very annoying. He did in round 1, but hopefully they play him. I think round 2 he was up the ground more, which helps Bacon and Rioli. So if you're thinking about Bacon, I think you got to hold off and see what happens here. But at any point in time, they can throw Short back, which very much annoys me. So I think you got to steer clear. But I think Baker, I really think you can actually go like 98 to 102 this year. It looks unreal and has a high ceiling. I think that's it. So again, that's how we'll line up this week. BC, Laird, C, Oliver. I haven't really listened to what other people are saying with captains, so I will try and get a read on what people are doing. You know, people might go like a Bond or English first up. Maybe I should go Bond. I'll check his record. What's his done against Freo? Because he was quite good in the final. Yeah, he was doing very well. No, this is not the final. I think, was he playing sore late last year? I can't remember. In the final, he went pretty massive, I think, but I think he slowed down in the second half, as did all the Dogs. It'll be Bont or Laird into Oliver. So Oliver against Richmond, I like that a lot. Or actually, hang on a minute, Dacos is here. Or maybe we should go Dacos. Well, I'll have a think about it, but at this stage, Laird into Oliver. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.